Yeah, I've got cancer. It'd be hard to say. If they don't operate now, it might spread. It is restricted me, you know. I do have to watch what I drink, and it went woof. And honestly, we ran. They all come out and went, "What the hell went on there?" It was funny at the time, but for some of them, I bet it's not funny now, if you know what I mean. It's took me a long time, but I've come through it, and hopefully for myself, my wife, and the kids. Me and the wife, thank you for what you've done. That's all I can say, you know. I'm glad I met you. Hi everyone, my name's Graham John Bacon, Swilly boy. Worked in the dockyard from 1970 to 1985. Thanks to the dockyard, they give me 15 years, and I've also had cancer in my bladder, which has also been caused by carcinogens from the dockyard. In that process, I had blood in my urine. Didn't quite know what it was. Went to the doctors. He thought it might be stress, strain or something like that. Give me tablets, antibiotics, thinking it was an infection. Did clear a little, and 3 months later it came back. Then went for the checkup. Yeah, I've got cancer. It's going to be hard to say. 3 months of chemo, maybe twice a week, 12-hour shifts. Then had another test. It got to another stage. If they don't operate now, it might spread, you know. So obviously I'm broken, like, you know. Well, I went through the operation. Then I got sepsis, and that was another follow-on. I mean, in the process of taking the bladder away, they took me prostate away, and they took me lymph nodes away. Now I've got a best friend, which is a colostomy bag that, you know, sleeps with me every night, like, you know. I can do most things, you know, but you wouldn't really. I mean, I've got a big scar going down through the thing. Like I say, I've got kids, grandkids, great grandkids. We go on holiday, you know, come on, Granddad, get in and swim, you know. And no, you know, I try not to let them know why or not, like, you know, get up early and go swimming by myself and things like that. But it is restricted me, you know. I do have to watch what I drink, and if I drink too much, I have to go more often to the toilet, and sometimes when I might be in a cinema, I might have to go 2 or 3 times, you know, and say, "Oh, where's he going again?" Like, you know, they don't. But to me, that also drags me down a little. It's took me a long time, but I've come through it, and hopefully for myself and my wife and the kids. But my last 2 years in apprenticeship, one of the jobs, me being a young guy, get up and change the light bulbs, wipe it all down, you know, which was, yeah, it was dusty, but I thought it was just dust. And I applied to transfer to the dockyard, and now working for the MOD, Devonport Dockyard. I ended up in the pre-heating section and the temporary light sections, and from that started the process of going on the ships at night times, when the only other crew was on there was the painting crew. Like, didn't think nothing of it, you know. And then, you know, I was 21, mainly talking about football and who you got Saturday, who you playing Saturday. Well, talk to everyone, like, you know. And then I only realised that when I had what I had, that I shouldn't have been in there yet, associating and yapping and things like that. And they had more PPE than I had on, but what I had on was the basic PPE, like, you know, and why would I worry about it? I worked in boiler houses and things like that, and didn't think nothing of it, like, you know. Then I moved up to the submarine refit centre, and I spent all my time then on submarine ships and things like that. Like. I don't think asbestos was mentioned back in the 70s. Don't think that even came into it then. I worked across their platforms and stuff like that, worked across, and all you could see was welders down below welding. It was 15 years in the dockyard. You know, I left in 1988. I didn't think nothing about the fumes coming off it. No one actually said anything. Well, don't stick your head above the fumes or anything. Just, they were there. It was just, you could actually smell whatever it gave out. And this is where they cleaned the pipework coming off of ships. Now you have another scenario where there's carcinogenics that's been thrown about in the dockyard that we weren't aware of. And you could have a welder over there 10 yards away. You could be yapping to someone here and you took no notice of the welder. And the fumes of that carcinogen. Painters, way they're painting merrily and jumping over you when you're going home, and you know, at the time it was funny. Most probably now it might not be so funny, and them guys, if they have a similar thing as I've had, they need to phone you up and get it sorted. And but the fumes in the I had no idea what they put in the acid. Things that, same again, I was working up above. You know, you talk with, yeah, they were under influence of fumes from, you know, but they were in a good way. You know, how are you getting on, mate? You know, all this. And you think, you're off your head, what's going on? Like, then someone, you know, painters, mate, they've been in working all night in the fumes and that, like, you know, and it was funny at the time. But for some of them, I bet it's not funny now, if you know what I mean. But someone smoked and they either lit it and threw a match in, or threw a cigarette in, and it went woof. And honestly, we ran. They all come out and went, what the hell went on there? It just ignited. But then it was just a flame on top of it, like, you know, but it caused a huge explosion, honestly, a huge explosion. I knew something was going on in the 90s with asbestos. I didn't have no inkling that I had asbestos or anything. Like I say, I was playing football. Some of them said I wasn't very good, but I thought it was very good. And didn't have no problem with the lungs or anything like that, you know. But come to 2010, I'm 40 now, and at that age, 2010, all of a sudden I'm getting restless, breathless, you know, and I just went for an X-ray, went in, and they found I had pleural plaques in my lungs. Always saw you advertised things like that. I don't know why I particularly picked on yourselves, but I'm happy I did, you know, and I, as you know, I pass the word around that Wolferstone's is a place to go. Like, I would recommend to any of the guys. Like I say, I can't be the only guy in Plymouth working in 20,000 dockyardies that have developed bladder cancer or any type of cancer, you know, and the link, I would say, I might be out of order, is the dockyard every time, you know. They were not, you go to, I'm sure if you go to a modern Babcock now, things would be a lot different than they were back in the dockyard. Back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, it wasn't a good place to work. But it was the only place to work in Plymouth, you know. I think he's a friend now, you know, honestly. I think I could phone him up any time. Say to Dean, have a look at this, and, you know, things like that. been very good. You know, thanks to you, I've, you know, I should have a normal life, you know, in debt free, if you know what I mean, which a wife would never have thought, like, you know, at one time. But I am. Dean was part of that, you know, and yourself, Layla, was part of that, and I'm glad I met you. I was overjoyed. I was thinking of retiring. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the company I work for has let me work another 5 years, mainly because if cancer comes back, it comes back within 3 or 4 years. So now it's been 5, 6 years. Hopefully I'm over that. And I wanted to retire. That gave me the opportunity to retire, which I'm doing in August. Me and the wife, thank you for what you've done. That's all I can say, you know. This is the reason why I'm here, is to explain to them guys that if you've had asbestos related diseases, if you've had cancer diagnosis, or even other things that I'm not wary of or anything like that, Wolferson, you've been there for me. It's been a 3-year process? 3-year process we've been. Didn't think I would get anything from it. You guys kept in and kept badgering them and not letting them rest. And my goal is to get at least one guy from the dockyard to benefit from what they've gone through. I hope that one turns into 100 and 1,000, because I'm sure you're out there. I just want you to realise I'm a sweaty boy. Never been to a solicitor's before, except for a divorce. And then, you know, I've met you. You've changed our lives, and you can do the same for, hopefully, some of the guys that have suffered like I've suffered, some more than me. I doubt whether very wise would know that, you know, that their husband had got out. Come on, you wise. I'm sorry, you know, if you buy yourselves and things like that, give them a ring. That's all it is. It don't cost you nothing, you know. And I cannot believe wise. You know, wise can make a claim. I mean, I can believe it, but I don't think any of them can believe it, if you know what I mean. Any asbestos we know about, you know, if your husband's died of something in the dockyard, but they've lost their income, you know, and that's not their fault. That's the dockyard's fault. So let's make it known. That's what I want to do. Good luck.